And that was before cell phones and the internet. So awesome. Well, thank you, CNP, for having this panel, and I want to thank Mike for asking me to serve on it. I'm excited to talk about the things I love to talk about, sex education among one of them. So while covering California, I'm going to do that a little bit today. I want you to really take away from this that this is going on in every single state, including deep red states. And so I want to make sure you don't think this is just California. So we're starting with social distancing. I did a radio show with Cleveland Right to Life this week, and she started off saying, oh, but because of COVID, this is really good because they're not doing sex education. Well, that isn't true. Because what has happened, they have not seen the COVID as an obstacle, but the left has seen it as an opportunity to actually push and get into our homes at an even greater rate. They have shifted, and of course, teachers weren't ready, but the sex ed teachers were ready and funneling out curriculum like crazy. So this is, I'm just giving you a few headlines from some of these. This one's from Michigan, and here's where they say, virtual learning could prove to be a benefit for teaching Michigan kids about sex health. The Michigan Department of Education has worked this summer on a series of sex education webinars for educators. I don't think they were working for math or science, but they certainly took the time right when COVID hit to talk about sex education. I'm going to show you a short video. I'm going to torture you a little bit, but I'm tortured for hours having to watch school board meetings. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what we're up against. Neither one of these districts is in California. One is Wisconsin and one is Nevada. This is what parents are up against. Both of these school board meetings happened this past week.
Good evening. Thank you for the time. My name is Phil Kaiser. I'm a high school teacher. I'm also the vice president of the Washoe Education Association, although I'm speaking as an individual. I appreciate the legal counsel's opinions tonight regarding the policy itself, but I think we should support staff in wearing masks or apparel or having a flag, including the rainbow flag and Black Lives Matter.
Hello, my name is Eliza Davis, and I'm a senior at Reno High School. I'm the founder of the Black Student Union at Reno High, an organization.
Hello, my name is Samantha Glover, and I'm a 15-year-old sophomore at the Davidson Academy. I'm here in strong and unwavering support of the Washoe County Students for Change and Diversify Our Narrative. I urge the board.
Hello, I'm Aiden Oster. I'm a junior at Reno High School, and I'm here to ensure that Policy 1310 is not interpreted to.
Hello, I am Ava Bame Jackson, and I'm an 11th grader at Reno High School. I want to thank you all for your time today and for hearing my peers and I speak. We are absolutely thrilled that Resolution 20-011 has been passed, and we are certainly looking forward to a new, more comprehensive curriculum and hope to see these changes reflected not only in our textbooks, but also into our classrooms and learning environments. I'm here today on behalf of WCSD Students for Change to ask for...
Hi, my name is Kristen DeHaan. It's important to me that students who identify as LGBTQIA+ and/or are part of the Black, Brown, and Indigenous community see themselves reflected in their classrooms, in books, art, flags, and curriculum from elementary school through high school. When students see themselves represented in the classroom, they perform better.
Hello, my name is Mia Albright. I'm 16, a junior at Reno High School, and a member of the entirely student-led group, Washoe County Students for Change.
Good evening, board. My name is Isabel Della Garza Gibson. I'm a junior at North Star Online Academy for the 2020 and 21 year. I am here on the behalf of Washoe County Students for Change and Diversify Our Narrative. The reason I'm standing here before you today is in support of the inclusive education in our schools and to allow teachers to openly support LGBTQ identity. Over the summer, the school board reinforced that BLM and LGBTQ+ was a political topic. I believe that this is a basic human right. The BLM movement rose up to confront police brutality, racial profiling, and white supremacy.
We can't wait for these kids to get into college and be exposed to Yaf and Charlie Kirk. We need to do it before then, because this is what the left is doing. Did you see the girl that got up at 15? She's 15. She's taking time out to go to school board meeting most parents won't go to. You heard, they want it kindergarten through 12th grade. They want it in curriculum. It's not enough for a teacher to hang the flag and wear a mask. They want curriculum. And this is what their plan is. The other thing I want you to think about as I continue my presentation is, are we going to take them at their word when they tell us what they want to do in our classrooms with our tax dollars and with our kids? And are we going to believe them? What are we going to do about it? So I'm going to talk a little bit about California and sex ed. Sex ed squads is the new rave. It's clubs on campuses where they're starting in high school to get the freshmen to join the sex ed club so they can talk about sex and then create peer teachers when they to go in and continue to talk about sex ed. But what we have been finding in California, and I've branched out into some of the other states, including really deep red states, as long as something isn't prohibited, the left is going in, and they're going in through the side door to get all these things done. We did over 900 public records requests in the state of California in every single school district. And even schools that will tell a parent they're not doing sex education, they're just calling it puberty education. And they're doing the genderbread person, and they're talking about graphic sex ed. This is happening in Tennessee. Look where this youth summit to train our youth as activists, Glendale Baptist Church, this was last year. This is an activist group that are working to get in the schools to create our kids to be activists. Advocates for Youth is one of the major players in all of this, and I'm just going to read quickly. Advocates for Youth strives to build an active, mobilized, and powerful network of young activists to create change on the local level, state, and national. The goal is to instigate progressive shifts in sexual health policy and practice at the federal and state level. This is also the group, this is the only time I'm going to say, well, I don't know if it's a bad word, but that recommends, starting in 6th grade, that the teacher not address girls or women or use that language. But when they line up, they're supposed to address them as a person with a vulva. So those of you with a vulva, line up over here. Those of you, line up over here. Instructs the teacher in 6th grade. Okay, I'm done with bad words. So, who are the players? In addition to having to go up against the NEA, your local teachers union, we have the left controlling textbook companies, the unions, the school board association. So if a school board member wanted to do something, they really can't. There is no resource for them because all the legal counsel they're getting is leftists. The PTA, in our public records request, we discovered that the PTA in Sacramento City Unified was contracting with Planned Parenthood to bring them into the 5th grade classroom and teach the Planned Parenthood sex education. And in their budget, they hid it, the $3,000 under assemblies. So the PTA is paying to bring this into our classrooms. We are up against something very big. We need to believe them when they tell us. They want sex ed for social change. SECUS has been around for a really long time. But in December of last year, they came out with a press release that said, we're changing our branding. We are sex ed for social change. We promise you, you will never see our name SECUS without the tagline, sex ed for social change. Are we going to believe them? Their goal is social change. This outlines specifically from SECUS, reproductive justice, LGBTQ equality, sexual violence prevention, gender equity, and dismantling white supremacy. They have a goal. Our kids are the target. So I want to talk a little bit about something that I uncovered, and it's a blueprint. And we need to counter this. So this is a blueprint for reproductive health, rights, and justice. Over 80 groups have signed on to this. One of their number one priorities is to extend the ERA amendment. But I'm going to read what their goals are, or they're part of their mission statement. It says, because sexual and reproductive health rights and justice intersect with numerous other issues, policy solutions must also seek to further gender equity, racial equity, economic justice, environmental justice, the right to community, safety, immigrant rights, indigenous people rights, LGBTQ liberation, young people's rights, and the rights of people with disabilities. I never thought that like sex ed and social justice went together, but this intersectionality is making a very concerted effort to work together, and it's a very powerful group that is doing this. That's a lot for anyone to go up against. How can a parent or a school board member go up against all of that that's feeding this information? So this is one of the quotes they use in this blueprint for social justice, and it says, if you've come to help me, you're wasting your time, but if you've come because your liberation is bound up in mine, let us work together. That's what they're doing. That's why you see CICUS and teachers union, and you might even have workers union. They're all coming together and indoctrinating our kids, and they're coming in the side door. Again, if this is not done at the state level by prohibiting certain things, they are going in at the local level like they did in those 2 school districts, and they are using the classroom and the virtual classroom to create activists. They've told us that's what they're going to do. That's what they're doing. I'm just going to quickly go through. This is just a tiny sliver of the groups that have signed on and committed to the blueprint. Out of 80, I don't know, I've got just a handful. So we're going to just so you can see, this is what we're up against. These are the groups going in to our public schools using the classroom. Tennessee, Deep Red State, very active. Oh, 2 name rolls. Oh, our good friends at Guttmacher. Check out this. This is the American Medical Student Association. Take the issue that keeps you up at night and convert it into action. You'll hit the ground running through one of our action committees or grassroots campaign. What does that have to do with the American Medical Student Association? So, I want to end with this. Believe me, it is happening in your school districts. CRI really wants to help. We are recommitting ourselves to a couple of things, and these are your action items. We are going to be announcing several exciting things starting in January. We have a significant matching grant that we are going to be using to educate our youth, come alongside our conservative youth, and joining clubs in high school. But we are also going to expose this. We need to expose this so that parents know how bad it is, pull their kids out. You cannot unrape the mind once it's been raped. We need to get those kids out, and then the kids that are left, we need to go in and fight for them. So please, join with Capital Resource Institute. I'll go anywhere I need to. I love to talk about sex ed, so I'm happy to come talk about it, but this is an urgent need. And we need to save these kids for our culture. Thank you.